So we're going to start in a seated position, Sukhasana with legs crossed, if that feels like a good way to sit. But any other seated position that lets you sit up nice and tall and have access to your shoulders would be the way to go this morning. So take a second to kind of find your way there, wiggle into your sits bones, let your shoulders right away get nice and soft and heavy, and let your hands rest somewhere comfortable. And then if it feels okay to do so, close your eyes down or just soften your gaze and just take a few moments here just to come to your mat. Now, as you start to find that kind of settling in sensation, notice if you started to sink into your seat and round through your back. Can you find that lifted up position, lifting up through the crown of your head so you still stay tall, lifted, and engaged through your torso, but shoulders are soft and heavy away from your ears. And then if your hands are resting on your thighs with the palms facing down, maybe flip your palms over so palms are facing upward towards the ceiling. And then eyes closed or open, that'll be totally up to you. But as you inhale, roll your fingers in, make a little fist and squeeze. Exhale, roll your fingers out and stretch the fingers wide. Inhale, roll the fingers in, give a little squeeze. Exhale, roll the fingers out, stretch the fingers wide. Inhale, roll the fingers in, give a little squeeze. Exhale to roll the fingers out. Inhale to roll in. And exhale to roll out. And then flip those palms back over so that I'm resting comfortably. And we're going to take it right up into the shoulders. As you inhale, just let your shoulders lift up to your ears. And as you exhale, let your shoulders melt down nice and soft. Inhale and let your shoulders lift. Exhale, soften down. 3 more just like that. Just follow your own rhythm of breath. As you inhale, the shoulders lift. And as you exhale, shoulders soften down. 2 more cycles of breath. And then once you've completed those cycles of breath with the shoulders softened down, hands just resting on the knees, it's just going to be a little hip hinge. You're going to lean your heart slightly forward and then bring it back so your head, your heart, your hips are in line. Lean your heart slightly forward and then bring it back up. And then if you can, keep your eyes closed here so you're tuning in a little bit to your proprioception. Where is your body connected to your space you're working in? 2 more to go. Lean yourself forward just a little bit. Bring yourself back up. Last one, lean your heart forward just a little bit, and then bring it back up. So head, heart, hips are in line. Inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Take 3 more cycles of breath here. Move with your breath's rhythm. Noticing the back of your neck, noticing the front of your neck and your throat. And then once you've completed those breaths, bring your head to a neutral position, eyes closed or soften your gaze. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice deep breath in, fill your lungs up. Nice slow breath out. Inhale and fill your lungs up. Exhale, nice and slow. Inhale, take a nice full breath, fill your lungs up. Exhale nice and slow, and then just let your breath come back to a natural rhythm for a moment, and then tune in and notice. Notice your knees, notice your sits bones. If you need to readjust your seat at all, take a second to do it. And then if all is feeling good, pause just for a moment here and set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, let your hands float down at your sides, and we're going to move into the wrists. So as you inhale, you're going to twirl your wrists, reaching up and overhead. Maybe look to your hands as you reach up. And then as you exhale, switch the direction of your wrist, come down nice and slow, and maybe bring your head to neutral. Inhale, twirl your wrists, bring them up and overhead. Exhale, reverse directions and come on down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, rolling up. And exhale, bring it on down. Beautiful. And then we're going to bend the elbows, fingertips are going to find the shoulders, and we're going to start to draw some gentle circles going in one direction. Start nice and small, just tune in. And if it helps to tune in, close your eyes for just a second so you can notice how your shoulders feel rather than what those circles look like. And then maybe with your eyes closed, start to increase that range of motion just a little bit. Take one more circle around in this direction. And then start to make them small, reverse directions, go the other way. Eyes closed if you can, just so you can tune in and notice how do your shoulders feel. And then maybe you start to increase that range of motion just a little bit. Nice, one more circle around. And then we're going to keep our elbows nice and wide, fingertips on the shoulders, and we're going to start a light little twist. So we're going to find that twisting action coming from the belly button up. We want to keep the sits bones nice and heavy on the ground. Try to keep your legs nice and heavy, so there's not a lot of movement from the hips or from the legs or from the knees. So it might shorten your range of motion just a little bit, but maybe you'll pick up a little speed. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to add a little breath. So you're going to inhale to one side, exhale to the other, and you're going to go as fast or as slow as feels appropriate to you this morning. So if you like, close your eyes back down and then just tune in, finding that twisting action and then adding your breath if that feels good. Take 2 more cycles of breath, or 2 more times each side. And then when you're ready, come back to center, let your hands just float back down to your knees, pause for a moment, eyes closed, take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Nice. Right hand's going to touch down to the ground, left hand's going to reach up, take a nice big side bend. Lift up and take it right over to the other side. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. We're going to take it right into an easy seated forward fold. So you're just going to walk your hands forward and then finding that little hip hinge. So you want to keep a nice long line through the front of the body so you create a little space, and then come forward just as far as feels good. So check your knees, check your hips, check your low back, make sure everything feels good. And then once you found your edge, that reach that works the best for you, reach through your fingertips, reach through your arms, take a nice big breath, and just see if you can notice the breath in the side of your body. One more breath here with this nice reaching sensation through the arms. And then staying out nice and long, we're going to walk over to the right. So just walk your hands over a little bit. So we're going to find a little sensation through the left side of the body. Let your elbows get heavy again. Reach through the fingertips. Forehead softens down. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, walking through center and then over and off to the other side. Reaching through the arms. Let your elbows get heavy. Soften your forehead down. Awesome. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, bring it back to center. We're going to press into the fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in, pull the ribs back, drag your fingers, come up nice and strong from your navel center, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, roll them around, down and back. Right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand is going to come behind you, come into a nice little seated twist. We're going to keep twisted to the side, but soften just a little bit. So let your heart rotate towards your knee. And then once you found that softer position, take a few nods of the head up and down. One more nod of the head up and down. And then bring your head to neutral. Release your twist. Pause in the center. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then we're going to take our twist to the other side. Catch hold of your knee. Hand comes behind you. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, soften your rotation just a little bit so your heart is pointing towards your knee, and then nod your chin up and down. Beautiful. One more nod up and down. And then bring your head to a neutral position, unwind, come to center, take a nice big breath, and just notice the sides of your body. Awesome. And then lean back into your sits bones. We're just going to switch the cross in our legs and then come back to that easy seat. And we're going to take it right into our easy seated forward fold. So just make sure your sits bones feel good. Everything's positioned well. And then walk yourself out to your edge, reaching long through your arms, finding that nice bit of length through the fingertips. Soften your head down. Take a nice big breath in and just see if you can notice the breath in the sides of your body. Staying nice and low, we're going to walk our hands over and off to the right side, reaching through the fingertips, finding a little length through the left side of the body. Beautiful. Bring it through center and then over and off to the other side, reaching long through the arms. Let your elbows get heavy, forehead softens down. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it back to center. We're going to press into the fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers as you pull the ribs back. So nice and strong from your navel center. Beautiful. And then just take a little shrug of your shoulders, wiggle out your ribs. We're going to find our way into a tabletop position. So take your time as you come to tabletop. And if you need to double stack your mat or put a little cushion under your knees so your knees are happy, give yourself a moment to do that. And then once you find your way into tabletop position, we're going to take it a little side to side. So start by stamping one hand and then the other. So you're just going to press into the right hand as the left hand lifts and press into the left hand as the right hand lifts. Beautiful. One more time each side. And then both hands nice and heavy on the ground. We're going to take it into the knee. So one knee and foot is going to pick up and then the other. Beautiful. One more time each side. And then we're going to come back up to the hands, but take it into a little bit of a temper tantrum. So we're going to smack our hands onto the ground, and you're just going to go as hard or as light as feels appropriate to you, just to stimulate the hands. And then just notice, how are your hands feeling? How are your wrists feeling? And what's your energy level like this morning? And then if it feels good to do so, pick up the pace just a little bit. And then let it all come to stillness, and we're going to take it down to the feet. So we're just going to tap the feet onto the ground, go as fast or as slow as feels right to you, make a little noise here. And then let that come to stillness. Curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back towards your heels, and then rock yourself forward, shoulders come back in line with the wrists. Keep the toes curled under, pull your butt back to your heels, and then come forward. And just take a few times forward and back, going at a pace that works good for you. And as you're here doing this work, notice, how do your toes feel? How do your feet feel? How do your knees feel? The next time you pull your butt back to your heels, stay there for an extra cycle of breath, just pressing into the palms, getting that deeper stretch to the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up, release your toes, move right into a cat-cow breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. 3 more cycles of breath here. Move with your breath's rhythm. Move at a pace and a depth that feels right in your body. Beautiful. And then once you've completed those cycles of breath, move right into puppy pose. Hips stay in line with the knees. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. As wide of a configuration of your arms as works good for you. And then let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths. When you're ready, nice and easy, walk your hands back up into that tabletop position. We're going to take the right hand and reach it behind your head. So you're just going to place your palm on the back of the head without moving your head too much if you can help it. And then we're going to take right elbow towards the left elbow pit. So just a little bit of a rotation in the thoracic spine. And then lift that elbow up just as high as works for you. Bring the elbow towards the elbow pit. And then bring it up nice and high. Beautiful. One more here. Elbow to the elbow pit. Bring that elbow up nice and high. Beautiful. And then come to neutral, release your hands, switch to the other side. Left hand is going to find the back of your head. And then we're taking elbow to elbow pit. Lift your elbow up nice and high. Beautiful. Elbow to elbow pit. Lift it up nice and high. Elbow to elbow pit. Lift it up nice and high. Come back to neutral, release your hand. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly, your chest, and your forehead soften down, and let your arms relax. So rather than an energetic reach through the arms, let them be soft and heavy in whatever position feels the most comfortable to you. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly start to come back up into your tabletop position, walking the knees back in so that they're in line with the hips. And we're going to move right into a spinal balance. So right leg and left hand are going to extend out nice and long. Firm up your belly, broaden your shoulders, gaze down at the floor. Find a nice steadiness here. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. With control, release it down nice and slow, and then switch to the other side. Left leg, right hand reaches out. Nice and steady here, gazing down at the floor. Beautiful. And then with control, release it down, and we're going to take it into some wrists up. So fingertips are going to stay on the floor. We're just going to lift the wrists away from the floor. Feel that strength in your hands, and then lower your wrists with control. Lift your wrists up away from the floor. Beautiful. And then release. One more time, just like that. Lift your wrists up away from the floor. Nice. And then release. Keep your wrist down. Move right into the scapula. Chest is going to drop down. Shoulder blades are going to squeeze. And then push the floor away. Broaden your shoulders and get that little rounding in the upper back. Drop the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Push the floor away. Broaden your shoulders. Beautiful. One more just like that. Drop your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, push the floor away, a little rounding in the upper back body. Nice. And then find a neutral position. Rotate the eyes of your elbows. And now we're going to take it into little tricep work. So elbows are going to draw towards the ribs. Heart lowers down. Push the floor away from you nice and strong. Beautiful. Elbows draw towards the ribs. Heart lowers. Push your way back up nice and strong. One more just like that. Bend the elbows. Lovely. Push your way up nice and strong. And now we're going to sit back onto our butt. So we're going to sit into our hero's pose or thunderbolt pose. So big toes together and your feet make a little U or a little V that your butt can sink into. If this is not a comfortable position with your knees, pick any other seat that works good for you. But we're going to take it into the upper body. Take a nice big breath. Open your arms nice and wide. Lift your chest. Look to the sky. Right hand comes on top. We're going to give ourselves a little hug. Catch your shoulders. Draw the shoulders down. Pull the abdominal muscles in, round the upper back body, tuck your chin into your chest. Notice the space between your shoulder blades. Take a nice big breath. On your next inhale, lift up, open your arms wide, look to the sky. Left hand is going to come on top. We're going to give ourselves a nice little hug. Catch the shoulders, shoulders come down, abdominal muscles pull in, round the upper back body, tuck chin to chest, and then notice the space between your shoulder blades here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, open your arms nice and wide, lift your chest, lift your chin, and then release forward into your tabletop position. Curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog and start to pedal out the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Take one or two more pedals of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in the knees, make some space for your belly and your chest, and then let everything be nice and heavy here. As you're here in this folded position, can you tune in and notice the soft center of your belly? Take a nice full breath in and just feel that light bit of compression. Perhaps your belly is resting on your thighs. So if you can notice that connection there. One more breath. And then we're going to keep our knees fairly bent. We're going to walk our hands up towards the tops of our knees. So hands resting on the thighs. And once you've found your way here, gently push into your knees. So we're going to keep that bent knee position. And then we're going to practice our Uddiyana Bandha, that flying up block. So take a second here to just make sure you have a comfortable stance. Feet are heavy on the ground. Knees are nice and bent. Take a big inhale. And just a nice slow exhale. Inhale a nice full breath. And then this time at the end of your exhale, you're going to pull the abdominal muscles in and up. So we get that sucked in hollow belly. So we want to really draw those abdominal muscles in. Hold that for a moment if you can, and then relax the muscles and then take your inhale. Exhale all the way. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, make that hollow belly, hold it just as long as you can. Release the muscles and then take your inhale. Nice, we're gonna do that one more time. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck it in. Hold it just as long as you can. Release the muscles, take your inhale, and then push firm into your feet. Come up to a standing position, and then just for a moment, tune in and notice your belly. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. Awesome. And then just take a second as you come up to that standing position to get yourself situated and find mountain pose at the top of your mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, feet nice and even on the ground. We're going to bring it right down to our awareness of our feet. So let your hands come out at your sides. And as you inhale, just lift your toes up away from the floor. Exhale and float your toes down. Inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes just as wide as you can. Exhale, float your toes down. Inhale, lift your toes up. Exhale, float your toes down. Nice. And now we'll take it up into the heels. Inhale, lift your heels just slightly away from the floor, maybe a centimeter away from the floor. And then exhale, float them back down. Inhale, lift maybe 2 centimeters. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift up maybe 3 centimeters. Exhale, float back down. Nice. And then on this next one, just lift up as high as feels comfortable and hold it for a moment. Find a little strength in your feet, a little strength in your ankles, that lifting up lightness sensation through the top part of your body. And then when you're ready, soften your heels down, come back to mountain pose, gaze forward, take a nice generous inhale. Nice slow exhale. Right hand's going to touch down to the thigh. Left hand's going to reach up alongside your ears, taking the side bend over to the right. Lift back up, nice and slow. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. Take a side bend over to the left. Beautiful. Lift back up nice and slow. We're going to bring both hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers here. Draw the knuckles down. Pull the arms slightly away from the back of the body. Notice your shoulders. Notice your collarbones, the front of your chest. Lift your chin up towards the sky. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, release with control. Hands come back down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, nice and slow and controlled, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, bend your knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders around, down and back. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to step the right leg back to a low lunge. So step that foot back to a comfortable distance for you. Drop the back knee down. Keep the back toes curled under. Bring your hand to your front knee. Lift your chest. Pull that left hip crease back. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Float your hands down. Release your back toes. We're going to take 3 half splits here. So pull the hips back. Peel the front toes up. Rock yourself forward. Look forward. Lift your chest. Pull your hips back. Peel the front toes up. Rock yourself forward. Lift your chest. Lift your gaze. Beautiful. One more just like that. Rock yourself back. Rock forward. Lift your chest. Lift your gaze. Curl the back toes under. Pick your back knee up. Plant your palms. Step back to a plank. Lower your knees and then gently lower down onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up just a little bit. Exhale and lower down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. The back knee comes down. Keep the toes curled under if you can. Hand to the knee, lift your chest. Pull that right hip crease back, reach your arms up, look up, and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Float those hands down. Release your back toes. Take it back into your half splits. Pull the hips back, peel the front toes up, and then rock yourself forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Pull yourself back. Rock yourself forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Beautiful. One more just like that. Rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Right away, bring the knees down, lower gently onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, press your palms together, keep the elbows nice and wide. Shift your weight over to your left foot. We're gonna turn the right knee out. Big toe is gonna stay on the ground just for a moment. Find your center. Think about zipping up through the center of your body, lift up through the crown of your head, and then just with one good breath, pull that foot to the calf. Take a nice inhale. Slow exhale. Release that foot down to the ground. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Turn your left knee out. Big toe stays on the ground. Zip up through your center. And then for one good breath, float that foot to the calf. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Release that foot down to the ground. Let your hands come down at your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight. Totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back. We're gonna come to warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is gonna pick you up. Nice, and then check with that front knee, just make sure it's drawing towards the pinky toe. And then we wanna make sure our ribs are fairly in line with the hips and we're reaching out through the arms. Just find that bit of strength and energy out through the arms, out through the fingertips, and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. We're going to take it into a side angle. So left elbow is going to come down to the knee. We're going to keep those ribs lifting away from the thigh. Take that top hand, reach it up, and then we're going to take 3 big circles of that top arm. So swing it around, nice big circle. 2 more times in that direction. Awesome. And then reverse directions. Take your circle, draw it the other way. Nice. And then lift back up into your warrior two position, straighten your front leg, turn both toes out to the right side of your mat. We're going to take a little soft fold here. So bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground, and then rock a little side to side. From here, grab your theraband, and then we're going to pull that theraband up with us. So come to a center position. Toes are both pointing out to the right side of the mat. Roll your way on up, and then we're going to take the theraband or your yoga strap, swing it behind you so you get a nice open hand hold so your arms can move fairly freely away from the body. Keep a little soft micro bend in the knees, hinge from the waist, fold yourself over and let your arms fall away from the back of your body. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Let your hands float toward your low back. Release your handhold of your theraband. And if you can, just toss it over to the left side of your mat. We're leaving it there. And then we're going to let our hands find the ground. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Left toes are going to turn towards the front end of your mat. Bend that left knee. Come back through your warrior two position. Beautiful. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Pivot your back heel. Heart forward. Look forward. Take a breath. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower gently onto your belly. Take a second to find your way here. And then we're going to bring our hands out in front like we're going for a little swim. So stretch your arms out in front of you. Let your forehead relax down for just a second. Notice the back of your body. On your next inhale, you're going to push into your left palm and right hand is going to swim back, touch the back of your thigh, or just touch wherever is most available, and then release, swim that hand forward. Left hand's gonna reach back, touch the back of your thigh or wherever is available, and then bring it back. Beautiful, back to that right hand, reach it back and touch, swim it back out in front of you, press into the right hand, left hand reaches back, and swim it back in front of you. Nice, one more time each side, reach the right hand back and touch, bring it back up, Left hand back in touch. Bring it back up. And then we're going to slide both hands in alongside the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Either power up to a plank or take it into your tabletop position. And then find your way up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand picks you up. Take a second to just find your shape here. So knees drawing towards the pinky toe, legs are strong, energy is lifting out through the fingertips. Beautiful. And now we're going to take it into our side angle. So right elbow is going to come down towards the knee. The ribs stay lifted, so we stay in control in this position. Left hand reaches up, and then we're going to take 3 big circles with that top arm, go in one direction. Beautiful. And then 3 big circles go the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift back up through that warrior two, straighten the front leg, turn both toes out to the right side of the mat. Soften your knees. We're going to fold down to the ground, grabbing hold of your theraband or your yoga strap. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way on up, swing that band or that yoga strap behind your back. Find a good position that your arms have a little bit of room to move, a little soft bend in the knees, a little hinge from your waist. Fold yourself over and let your arms fall away from the back of your body. Take one more breath. Soften your knees, soften your hands toward your back. And then if you like, release your hold from your theraband, toss it back over to the right side of your mat. Pull your abdominal muscles in as your hands find the floor, and then roll your way back up to a standing position. Turn the right toes back towards that front end of your mat. Bend that front knee as we float through our warrior two, and then spin it down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel, plant your palms, step back to a plank. Release your knees, lower with control onto your belly. Beautiful. And this time we're going to take it into half locust, so we're going to take it down to the legs. So your hands are going to be wherever is the most comfortable. And then just take a second to find a little softness in your tush, in your thighs, and your calves. Give everything a little soft shake. If your front hip bones are super bony and you need just that little bit of cushion, tuck your fingers into your hip bones. But if it's all feeling good, just wherever is the most comfortable for your hands. All right, now we're going to reach through the right toes. Pull the right toes away from you. Pull them so far to the end of your mat that the leg starts to lift. Lengthen through the leg as you lift it up nice and high. Lengthen through the leg as you lower it back down with control. Once you touch down, shake it out. Take it to the other side. Pull the left toes away from you. Reach so long that the leg lifts up. Beautiful. Lengthen as you lower back down. Give everything a little soft shake. Nice. And then when you're ready, curl your toes under. Power up to a plank or take it through your tabletop position. Find your way up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, keep the toes curled under. Take one good breath, lift your arms up. Float your hands down, 1/2 splits here. So release those back toes, pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Rock yourself forward. We're going to curl those back toes under, pick the back knee up, and then pivot that back heel. So we're going to find our way into our warrior two position. Nice. Pick your right hand up. Beautiful. And now we're going to take it into our side angle. So right elbow is going to come to the knee, left hand's going to reach up. And then we're going to see how it feels to go a little bit further with this. You're going to see if it feels good to slip the elbow off the knee and let the hand find the floor. Nice. And then from here, if binds are in your practice, you might choose to take that right hand, slip it behind you and let your palm rotate. So palm is going to be facing towards the back wall behind you. And then see if you can pick the fingertips up away from the floor, reach behind you, and you're just going to see if you can clasp your hands underneath your thigh. If you can't clasp your hands, don't worry about it. And you can always use your band or your strap, bring it into that back hand, grab the band behind you, and then it takes you into that bind, giving you a couple extra inches if your arms are short, like mine are. Nice. So take a second, and then once you feel like you've got a good handhold, that top shoulder is going to pull back, rolling up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the sky. So strong legs, strong in the side body. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then if you're holding onto your strap, go ahead and let it go down to the ground. Lift back up through your warrior two position, straighten that front leg. Both toes are going to turn out to the side of the mat. We're going to fold over, grab that theraband again, bring it behind the back here, and then just let your arms fall away from the back of the body. Beautiful. One more breath. Relax your hands, toss that theraband over to the other side of your mat. Come up nice and slow and controlled. Pivot those front toes towards the top edge of your mat, back to your warrior two position. Beautiful. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here as high as you like. Inhale and lift your heart up. Exhale, find your way up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. Keep the toes curled under, bring the knee down. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, float your hands down, release your back toes, pull back to half splits. Rock forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, and then we're gonna take it into our warrior two. So we're gonna drop that back heel down, turn the toes out, left hand is gonna pick you up. Beautiful, and then from here, right elbow is gonna come down to the knee, left hand is gonna extend up, and then play around and see if it feels good. One side might feel totally different than the other, so allow for those variations, but see if you can slip the elbow off the knee, hands find the floor. And then if you like that bind, you're gonna flip that back hand, palm is gonna be facing out, you're gonna reach that right hand through and underneath, and if you can, clasp the hands. If not, grab your theraband, and we're gonna pull that top shoulder up, look up towards the sky, nice and strong in the legs. Beautiful, and then with whatever grab you're using, go ahead and release, lifting back up through that warrior two position, turning both toes out to the side of the mat, bend yourself over. And then if you weren't using your TheraBand and you want to use it for that over the shoulder work, grab your band, fold yourself over, let your arms fall away from the back of your body. Awesome. When you're ready, release and see if you can just toss that TheraBand over to the right side of your mat. Nice and easy. We're going to lift our way back up, find our way back to that warrior two position, turning the front toes out, bending that front knee. Awesome. And then cartwheel the hands down to the ground, pivot on your back heel. Plant the palms, step back to a plank. Lower the knees, lower with control. One cobra here, just as high as you like. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. We're going to start to find our way down to the ground from here. So bend your knees, pick up your heels, lower into your little ball of yarn, and then sit your butt down. And if you like, grab your band, your strap, or your TheraBand, whatever you're working with, and we're just going to catch hold of both of the bottoms of the feet. So we're going to come into a little boat position here. Knees bent, nice V shape with the hip crease, lifting through the chest, lifting through the crown of your head. Beautiful. And then see if you can extend the legs out, keeping everything in that nice lifted position. Take one good breath. Lovely. Bend your knees, float your feet down, release your feet from your band, set it off to the side, curl your tailbone under, roll your way down to the ground. Once you've found your way down, just give yourself a second. Get yourself situated, fix yourself up, notice the floor beneath you, pause for a moment, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. We're going to find our way into a bridge position. So walk your heels a little bit closer to your butt, feet about hip width distance apart, hands down alongside the hips. If you like to do that nice little interlace behind your back in your bridge pose and you've got the reach, cool. But if you need that little assist, have your theraband or your strap handy. When you're ready, lift your hips up nice and high, pushing evenly into both feet. Knees are reaching towards the toes. So we find that length through the tops of the thighs. You can opt to keep your hands on the ground, or if you like, grab your theraband, bring it in nice and tight just so you have that little handhold, and then find that little bit of sensation of pressing the shoulder heads up into the ground. Take one more breath. If you're holding your band or interlacing your fingers, go ahead and release. And then we're going to lower with control. So think upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch the ground. Once your hips touch the ground, toe heel them out to the outer edges of your mat. Take a few windshield wipers with the knees side to side. One more swish of the knees side to side. And then as both knees come back to the center, walk your feet in so they're a little bit closer, right into a figure four. Right leg is going to come across the left. And then we're going to come back to that sort of windshield wipe sensation. So drop the knees a little bit side to side. Beautiful. And now the next time you drop over to the right, let it drop all the way down. So you're going to try to see if you can maintain that foot across the knee. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Keeping that foot across the knee if you can. Lift it right back up. And now we're going to pick the left leg up, thread your hands through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, and then draw the legs into your comfort level. See if you can keep your shoulders soft. Make space for your breath. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently release. Step the right foot off the left. Pause for a moment just to notice how one side feels a little different than the other. And then when you're ready, left leg comes across the right. And then we're going to keep that foot on the ground and rock that figure four a little side to side. Beautiful. And then the next time your knees drop over to the left, let them come down as far as feels comfortable to you. If you can keep that leg across the thigh, keep it there. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Keep the leg across, pull it all back up to center, and then into our figure four stretch. So lift the right leg up, thread your hands through, catch hold of the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, and then draw it into your comfort level. Shoulders are soft, back is nice and heavy on the ground. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly release, stepping the left foot off the right. And if you have your theraband handy, go ahead and grab it, or your yoga strap, or if you prefer to use your handhold for this one, you're going to take your peace fingers and grab hold of your right big toe. But if it helps to have a little bit more length in your arms, use your strap, catch hold of the bottom of the right foot, a micro bend in that knee just so that you're not zinging any sensation up into your glutes. We're going to take hold of both ends of the strap with the same hand. So But the strap is on the right foot, so both ends are in the right hand. Left hand is going to come out like a little anchor. We're going to take the leg out to the side just as wide as feels good, and then bring it back up nice and slow. Take it out to the right, nice and wide, pull it back up and in. Lovely. Take it out to the right, and this time let it go out as far as feels comfortable. And then if it feels really good to do so, you're going to slide your left leg nice and long to the end of your mat, and then sink in just a little bit further. You might find a slight external rotation of the foot gets you a little deeper into it, but you just go to the place that feels right to you. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Cool. And then if that left leg is out nice and long, first start by sliding that leg in, plant that foot, pull yourself back up to center, and then just bring the leg slightly across the body. Think about 45 degree. And then we're shooting to just find a light bit of sensation through the IT band. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Pull that leg back up to center, bend your knee, release your foot from your strap, and we're going to take it to the other side. So you're going to pick up that left foot. Both ends of the strap in the left hand, right hand is going to be your anchor. You're going to take that leg out to the left just as far as feels good, and then bring it back in. Take it out to the left as far as feels good, and bring it back in. Take it out to the left, and this time go to your edge. Take it as far as feels comfortable, perhaps an external rotation of that toe. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to slide your right leg nice and long to the end of your mat. When you feel ready, if that right leg is extended out, slide it back in, plant that foot, pull the leg back up to center, and then we're going to take that leg slightly across the body, about 45 degrees, just to that point where you feel a little sensation through the side of your left leg. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it all back up and in. Bend that knee, release your foot from your strap, set that off to the side, both feet nice and heavy on the ground, feet about hip width distance apart, and we're going to take it into a pelvic tilt. So let your hands come down alongside your hips. Exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale and press your low back down. Inhale and release. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. Beautiful. And then we're going to take it into reclined cobbler's pose to finish. So you're going to walk your feet together, soles of the feet together, knees are going to drop out to the left and to the right. And then if you like just a little extra sensation, hands are going to find the inner thighs and just let your hands rest there. So we're not trying to push the legs down, but we're allowing that little bit of weight to draw you a little deeper into sensation. Soften your inner thighs. See if you can soften your glute muscles. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, hands are going to find the outsides of the thighs, help your knees come together. We're going to pull the knees up into the chest and just get a little firm handhold. So arms are going to be nice and strong here. We're going to push the knees into the hands and the arms are going to resist and then just push out just to the point where your arms straighten and then bend and pull everything back in. But the arms are going to stay active the whole time. Push your knees into your hands. Arms are going to give a little resist, get it all the way to the point the arms straighten. And then gently pull the knees back in. We're going to do that one more time. Push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to offer a little resistance, working through the arms. Beautiful. And then pull the knees into your chest. One last little gentle squeeze. And then release your feet down to the ground and ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. Would it feel good to take it into reclined cobbler's pose? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest? Does it feel nice to come to that more traditional shape? And especially if you're in a cold room or in a colder climate, a blanket for your Shavasana is a welcome thing. So you don't come out of it feeling cold and stiff. So get cozy on your mat, throw your socks on, your sweater, whatever works good for you. Give yourself a little time. And then see if you can start to find a comfortable position for your body. Work out all those little wiggles. Make sure your clothes and your hair are in a good position. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Become aware of the floor beneath you. If it feels good to do so, gently wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe turn your head a little side to side. And then start to invite some bigger movements back into your body. Maybe moving your wrists, your ankles, popping your knees around a little bit, moving your thighs a little bit, any little gentle bit of movement that feels good. And then whatever position you're in, if it feels good to do so, walk your legs nice and long and find your way into that big good morning stretch. Stretch your arms up and overhead, reach your legs nice and long. Take a nice deep breath back into your body. Awesome. And then when you feel good and ready, start to find your way to a comfortable seated position. Perhaps coming to Sukhasana with legs crossed or any other seat that feels good. Great. And then once you found your way here, we're just going to floss out the shoulders just so that if we did anything in the shoulders that made anything get a little funky, we want to make sure that we keep it loose. So take your left hand, bring the thumb inside the palm, wrap your fingers around, and then we're going to rotate. So thumb is going to come in towards the ribs. And now you'll find that the palm is facing slightly upward towards the ceiling. Drop your ear away from that shoulder so we create a little bit of a length through that whole line. And then we're just going to draw a couple of circles in one direction with the whole arm and the fist, keeping the ear dropped away. Nice. And then reverse directions, go the other way. Beautiful. And then bring your head back up, release, and we're just going to extend the hand out, bring the fingertips up towards the ear, drop your ear in. And then as you release the head away, flip the fingertips down. Nice. And then release, take it to the other side. So thumb into the palm, wrap the fingers around, thumb comes inward, and then the palm is facing upward towards the ceiling. Once you've got that arm arranged, drop your ear away from the shoulder, and then draw a couple of circles in one direction. The whole arm is moving, not just the wrist. Wonderful. And then draw those circles, go the other way. Keep the ear away from the shoulder. Beautiful. And then lift it back up, unwind. So palms facing up. Nice. And then fingertips in as the ear drops in. Fingertips down as the ear drops away. And then release, come back to center, both hands down to the ground, both hands down to your knees, and then just find that soft heaviness in the shoulders. Close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. If your palms are facing down, now flip them open, facing the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. On the next inhale, pull your hands right to your heart center, stacking one hand right on top of the other. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And on an exhale, let your shoulders soften, soften your jaw, and think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. And gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday. Nice work today. Woo, you guys are amazing.